Lily had promised herself not to let anyone try to break up her relationship with Kevin, so she held Kevin's hand. "Hubby, your classmate's offer sounds wonderful. Why don't you come along too, Phoebe?" Just as Kevin was about to nod his head and agree to the plan, a sharp sword suddenly flew toward them from nearby. He reached out and snatched the sword. With all these people around, you could kill someone.
"I'm really sorry about that. It accidentally slipped out of my hand while I was practicing."
He was Frank Carter, one of the martial arts instructors at the School for the Healing Arts.
"I'll try to pay attention next time."
Then Frank turned around and walked away. "So it's a plan. Let's all go out and have dinner tonight." "Okay." Right then, a stone hit Lily really hard on the shoulder and she winced in pain.
"Sorry, Lily. The students asked me to demonstrate a throwing technique and it got away from me. Did it hurt a lot? I can show you a special massage."
He started to reach out to touch her shoulder, but Lily pulled back. Kevin grabbed his wrist. "Apologize to my wife immediately or you'll regret it." Sherwin Blair squeezed through the crowd. "Frank's our martial arts teacher, you goof. Do you have any idea how much trouble you're getting into?"
"If you want to fight with me, that's what you'll get."
Then he picked up a sword and pointed it right at Kevin. Just as Kevin was about to attack, Professor Murdoch walked over to them and chastised Frank. "Do you think it's right to bully students?"
"We were just messing around, Professor. Everything's under control."
Professor Murdoch looked at them all one by one. Finally, her gaze stopped on Kevin. "Come with me. I've got something to tell you." When they got to Professor Murdoch's office, she informed him, "You've earned your reward. The high donor for the fundraiser receives a reward from the school. Your reward will be to have access to the library's special collections annex. The books from the 11th to the 13th floor are extremely rare. They're the only copies in existence. I myself don't even know what's contained in them. Do you mean I can enter the top 3 floors? That's right. You can go anywhere from the 11th to the 13th floors and you can stay there for 10 hours. I'll take you over there right now." A few minutes later, they bumped into Penny. "I'm sorry, Penny. Professor Murdoch and I have some things to deal with, so I'm afraid I'll have to take a rain check on our dinner," Kevin explained apologetically. "That's okay. The two of them eventually made it to the 11th floor. I can't go any higher than this. Please be careful not to damage any of the books you find here. I'll wait for you down on the 10th floor." Kevin took a deep breath and slowly opened the door to the 11th floor. What the hell is going on? There's absolutely nothing here. The 11th floor was definitely very empty. Not even a scrap of paper, let alone a collection of arcane tomes containing the secrets of herbal medicine. The only piece of furniture was a big white table. He ran his palm across the surface of the table. That's when he realized there was an enormous touchscreen built into the desktop. As the screen lit up, he heard a voice from a hidden speaker talk to him. "Kevin Williams, freshman student, has permission to enter the library's special collections. Confirm with a DNA blood marker test." There was a sterile lancet that he could use to prick his finger and put a drop of blood on a test strip. He inserted the strip in a container that got sucked into the table. After a few minutes, the screen showed that Kevin had been recognized and a light came on over a door that he hadn't noticed when he came in. When Kevin pushed the door open, he saw several display cases containing antique books. "Now that I've been using the book I got from Marshall's office, and ever since the Night King gave me his training and his dagger, none of these books have anything new for me," so he started heading towards the 12th and 13th floors. While this was going on, the Williams family was in their New York mansion starting to practice the techniques in the instruction manual that Roundtree had given Grandpa Williams. There were 49 of them gathered together to learn the secrets of the myriads. "You have to aim even higher. The myriads will deliver the pills to us this evening. You need to wait by the door and be very careful. We can't make any mistakes." Just as Thomas was about to ask him another question, someone rushed over to Randall and told him that Renee Silver had just arrived. She was the director of a large organization called the Union. "Thomas, please show her to the backyard where everyone's practicing. She absolutely hates groups like the Myriads."
If she knew our family had joined them, we'd never hear the end of it. So don't say a word about it."
Thomas nodded in agreement. Randall Williams headed for the front door.
"It's always a pleasure to have you here. Please come in.
Is your family training together now?"
We had no choice. Our family was in financial difficulties and nearly went bankrupt because of one of my grandchildren. It's Kevin, Alan's son. He's become quite powerful and he has some very shady friends.
"Don't worry, Randall. If I run into him, I'll make sure that he never causes your family any problems ever again." But she still hadn't told Randall the real reason for her visit. Kevin was exploring the top floors of his school's library. He'd made it to the top floor where, in a corner of the room, he found a blood-red book on improving your cardiac health. The next morning, Lily was sitting on the sofa looking really sad. Dorothy came downstairs dressed in a very fancy outfit and saw Lily sitting on the couch looking miserable. "Mom, are you going out to gamble again? I don't mean to upset you, but we're kind of short on cash. Can you try not to gamble so much?" Just when Lily was about to try and convince her mother not to go out, the doorbell rang.
"What's wrong? Aren't I welcome in your home?"
"Of course you're welcome. Please, come in and have a seat."
"I didn't expect you to be able to buy such a nice home after leaving the family. Did you find yourself a rich man to take care of you?"
"If you don't want to stay, you know where the door is. I invited Grandma to come in, not you."
"Lily, I know that Jason and I have caused you a lot of pain. Please accept my sincere apologies for that. But I am here on behalf of the entire family to ask for your help. As a member of the Jones family, you can't let us get wiped out." "Oh, so now that you need help, we're back in the family? You didn't seem to care about our name when you kicked us out."
"Mom, please don't say anything else. What's past is past. How can I help the family, Grandma?"
"Well, how much money do you have right now? We'll need you to transfer all of it to the family. We'll cover the rest. That's the only way we'll be able to overcome this crisis."
"If you think that's an unreasonable request, we can give you some of the Jones Corporation shares."
"You've really got some nerve saying that."
"That's enough, Mom. Let's let bygones be bygones. I promise to help the family. Tomorrow I'll arrange for the transfer of funds." The main reason Lily had decided to do this was actually her own mother. She still had about $6 million left in the bank. If she didn't withdraw, Dorothy would probably lose it anyway. When Lily's phone rang, she and Rachel were right in the middle of the mall. "Are you back from campus, Kevin?"
"Yes, I am. Where are you right now?"
"We're in the middle of that new outdoor mall along Halstead."
"Stay right where you are. Don't move an inch. I'm right by the entrance and I'm heading your way."
Kevin wasn't aware of it, but at that very moment, Officer Emmett was walking through the same crowd. A man walked up to her and asked her if she wanted to come over to his kiosk.
"Would you like to have your palm read, ma'am?"
"Sorry, I'm not interested."
"Why don't you just give me a few minutes of your time? I'll bet you really want to believe, Kelly."
"How did you know my first name is Kelly?"
"I can see far into the past and even farther into the future. Knowing your name is really quite simple."
"That's pretty impressive. Please read my fiancé's palm for her. I'll pay you whatever you want."
They walked over to his kiosk and Officer Emmett sat down across from Professor Futurioso. Then he pulled a deck of tarot cards out of his puffy sleeve. He drew the cards and placed them on the little table between them.
"I see here that your career isn't going as well as you'd hoped, but you have someone very generous in your life. But something has brought disaster into your life. It looks like you need to make an immediate change so that your life and career can get back on track."
"Then what should I do?"
"It seems to me that this is the man who will bring you that happiness. You're destined to be together."
Blair thought that the moment was right to make his move. He got down on one knee and pulled out a small velvet jewelry box.
"Kelly, we've been together for such a long time. Will you marry me?"
She looked at Blair, who was still kneeling on the ground, and she was so touched that she didn't know what to say. But then Officer Emmett turned her head and saw a familiar face in the crowd. "Kevin, wait a second. I have something to talk to you about. Have you been looking for me? I wanted to ask you if you happen to have a power pill on you." "What a coincidence! We can't seem to get rid of you, can we?" I thought that a law enforcement officer would have more sense than to believe in tarot readings. "You guys go ahead and have fun. I'm going to look for my wife." "Hey, don't be in such a hurry to leave. This guy's pretty good. Don't you want to find out what he has to say about your future?"
"Don't be angry, young man. I'll do your reading for free. I hope you're not the fool that showed up in Kelly's reading. You do realize that as long as you stay in contact with Kelly, you'll only bring her bad luck. In addition, you won't have any good fortune in your own life either. You'll be forced to spend the rest of your life mooching off your wife's family."
"So, you're really that good, are you? Since you're so skilled, did you see that today would turn into a complete disaster for you?" Then Kevin shoved the man, sending him sprawling on the sidewalk in front of his kiosk.
"Young man, you're letting your temper get the best of you, and now you're ignoring some very useful advice. If you don't change your ways now, you'll never get control of your violent urges."
Hi, Kevin here. If you're wondering what happens next, then stay tuned on the Pocket FM Universe channel for more episodes.